Hey everybody, just an update. So got the timing belt done about quarter till 10 last night. Took it for a test drive. Runs like a top, no problems. Until I started driving to work this morning and I had a check engine light pop up. So backstory to that. So I turned around, headed back to the house and parked at work from home. No big deal. Um, so check codes at lunch and it said I had a diesel particulate filter pressure differential pressure switch that was reading zero. So okay, ruminated on that during the rest of my workday, and then brought the VAGCOM software back out and fired it up and ran it and tested some of the sensors that are back here with a piece of tubing just to see, like, kind of blow into a little bit to see what if the pressure's changed. And I noticed one of them, the one that actually should be right there, one of them didn't change, so that clued me in. And I got to looking at it, and yeah, I noticed that one of the little nipples for the hose is busted off. So, and I know exactly when it happened because when I freed up the lines there, I noticed one of them, that one specifically, just came loose. So I'm like, oh, must have popped off of the line, I guess. That's kind of odd. And it looked like there was some sort of deposit. So I'm thinking, it's just, exhaust residues, particulate, soot, whatever. And when I went to put it back together last night, I just kind of took a screwdriver and busted that up, got it out, used a vacuum cleaner to clean the hose out, hooked it back up to the one fitting that was still on there, and yeah, that's where I got my message. So I've got a new sensor on order, but the one that came off was still working, and as is my habit, even if I buy the wrong fitting, I usually don't take them back, just because you never know when it might be useful somewhere else. This is actually a PEX adapter, and I cut the larger size of it off because it actually fit over the outside diameter of that tube, and so I put a little 5-minute epoxy just to hold it, and then some JB Weld Marine. I don't know. It takes 4 to 6 hours to set, and then 14 to 15 hours to fully cure. Needless to say, I'm driving the truck tomorrow to work, so it's not a huge deal, and I've got a new sensor that'll be here on Wednesday, so I've got this for a backup at least. So I'm gonna see what happens, let this dry and cure, and see if it actually works. If nothing else, I've got a backup. But yeah, that's the update. The timing belt change was pretty straightforward. The Harbor Freight vacuum coolant system servicing kit was awesome. It was super easy to do. Took less than 5 minutes to reservice the coolant system. Only issue I had was I stuck the coolant hose too far into the jug, and so it kind of looped around and got above the top of the coolant level. So as I was vacuuming out, it's really neat. You pull a vacuum, you let it sit at negative 26 psi for a couple minutes without the air on. So if it holds the vacuum, you're good to go. And you open up the coolant line and it sucks it back in because it's under vacuum. Sucks the coolant back in and you're done. And I ran the VCDS software that I had bought for my '05 or '06 when I did the timing belt change. Still works with this thing, and it ran through the bleed system. Runs it up to 1,000 RPM, 2,003, which is a little unnerving when you're letting it go on jack stands and you're putting the wheel well liner up and it spools up to 3,000 RPM on you. That, little odd, but yeah, nonetheless, work like a charm. Seems to be running fine. We'll see. I'm not going to push it to 190,000 like I did the last belt. That's on me. Went way over. So I think the next one will be at 200,000, which is about 100,000 miles from now, 110,000 from now. So it should be well within the limit if it makes it. So yeah, that's where we're at. All in all, I think it was actually easier than changing one on the '06, the old pump deuce engine. Just seemed to have a little bit more room, a little bit easier to get at. So yeah, that's all I get. I'll let you know how the sensor turns out. See ya.